Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber. Thanks for stopping by. Music, Spins and Sounds with Bill for my Saturday show, featuring the music that I listened to this week from my vinyl album collections and CD collections. And it was a pretty good week. I got a couple groups that I never heard before. We're going to talk about them a little bit too, starting the week off. The first one was a Whatnot pickup, and it was I don't know why I bought it, but I did buy it. And it's a 1980 album called Silent Night from the group Saga. Now, when this first started, the first song, I thought that this was going to be like it sounded to me like with the way the singer was singing, there's no inner on it, was a soundtrack. But then it picked up after that, and it turned out to be pretty good. It was Discog says it's pop rock. I would have classified it as progressive rock throughout just about the whole thing. And mine was progressive with some hard rock tunes in it also thrown in. So, like I said, I thought it was a score from a movie. Something turned out. Then when I looked it up, Saga, this was the third of 21 studio albums that Saga had released and they are from Canada or were from Canada. I don't remember if I looked up to see if they were still doing anything or not. And let's take a little look at their label and that. Really good shape. Played very, very nice. And I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, and I'm going to give it a G for the week. Good. New. So that was the 1980 album, Silent Night by Saga, getting the G to start the week off. A new group to me. The next one was another new group, and this was a 1968 LP. I thought it was because it's still in shrink. I thought it was a reissue, but I couldn't find anything about it. Okay, and it's getting to the point by Savoy Brown. Now, this kind of surprised me because I had heard the name Savoy Brown, but I thought it was more like a funk or something like that, or Beale Street type blues and that. It does have an inner in it, sales inner. And I found out this was the second studio album by the English blues rock band Savoy Brown. Where have I been? Where have I been? There's a lot of text on the back of this. Anybody that follows me knows that I'm a fan of the blues type music. But why? I don't have any idea why Savoy Brown Band has been a mystery to me until just now. Crazy. Crazy. This album hit the spot with the blues rock. This was a Whatnot pickup also. And, I did two Whatnots and two albums that I wasn't familiar with the artists on this week, and they both turned out to be good. This one here, pretty good. I'm going to give this album, Getting to the Point by Savoy Brown from 1968, a G plus for the week. And I want some more Savoy Brown. So I have added that to my watch list. Thank you, whoever sold that to me. Anyway, so it's been a good start. Two new groups to me that I'd heard the name, I had never heard the names of Saga, but 21 albums they put out and never heard of them. That's crazy. It shows you I'm not that big of a music fan. All right, what do we got going on here next? Okay. Next, we got one that came sealed. I bought it sealed from Whatnot. This is a 2023 reissue of a 1986 album by Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. Such a cool looking cover. In 1986, it was the sixth studio album by the English heavy metal band. I think we do have an inner on here. And it was the band's first album to feature guitar synthesizers. I almost said that, pronounced that wrong, and it's a tough word for me to say. Synthesizers. Okay. And then Somewhere on Tour was the official tour held in support of the album. There's the so you can see the tracks. It was the band's first tour since their grueling World Savagery tour, which was picked on by Bruce Dickinson as being long. Due to the band's cut down of this tour and booked 157 shows. 157 shows. It's 32 less than that World Slavery tour. Crazy. A lot of shows these people put on when they go on tour. We love them. Nice looking label. The album received positive reviews, mostly because of the change in their style. Some of the critics called it adventurous. I can't relate to their change in their style. I can only say what I've read or heard, because off the top of my mind, I can't think of the albums before this one, so I wouldn't know the change in the style, would I? This charted in 14 countries, number 3 in the UK, number 11 in the US. So, the 2023 reissue of this 1986 album, Somewhere in Time, gets a G+ for me for the week. That Savile Brown one probably could have been G++. I forget that I started using those ratings too. So anyway, pretty good start to the week. All three of these, nice work, nice sounds. I've been enjoying this week a lot. So we're going, time we get to the albums, I mean the CDs. I don't know why I'm not being able to pull this one over a little bit. Okay, the first one is a 1995 CD by Don Henley called Actual Miles. I have one LP and 3 CDs in the collection from Don, aside from his Eagles work. This is solo work. This was the first solo greatest hits compilation by the American singer-songwriter. And it was a dandy. It was a dandy. Got a little book in here. Covered hits from all 3 of his solo albums throughout the 80s and featured 3 new songs. The last 3 on the CD, which was nice to be able to track them. The 3 new songs was The Garden of Allah, You Don't Know Me at All, and Henley's cover of Everybody Knows. This photograph is a half jokingly depicts him smoking his cigar smoking and used car salesman. When Henley was asked about this on the David Letterman show, he said that the title was a satire of the recording industry. Oh, I didn't show you that last page very well, did I? Nice picture. This was a great addition to my collection. Kind of took all that music that I had from him before and put it all together on one. Nice little colorful there. See what we can see here. All right. Well, my eyes are not working that good. Let's do it this way. All right. Starts off, which was probably one of my favorite songs by Don Henley, Dirty Laundry. You know, See the Bubble Headed Bleach one is on at 5. You know, that one that's all about the news and the nonsense that they put out and so forth. There's the track listings. I'll let you be able to. The Boys of Summer, All She Wants to Do Is Dance, Sunset Grill, the New York Minute. Oh, lots of good stuff on here. If you're looking for some Don Henley stuff, check this one out. This would be a good collection. It kind of takes all of those first 3 solo albums and puts them all together, the hits all together on this one. So this was the 1995 Actual Miles LP by Don Henley, his first solo compilation. So that just kept the weekend really going. I'm just having a wonderful week of music here. So the next one we got. Forgot I had this one. Glad I got this. It was its turn to play. This is a 1995 album also by Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. I have 4 CDs in my collection by Alanis. And this was the 3rd studio album by the Canadian-American singer. Jagged Little Pill was received well by the critics, who praised its music and her lyrics and vocals. Received 9 Grammy Award nominations, of which it won 5. Album of the Year, making her the youngest artist to win the award at the time. Best Rock Album, Best Female Rock Vocal Performance for You Ought to Know, and Best Rock Song, You Ought to Know, and Best Long Form Music Video. Wow, what a hit this was, that, huh? Wow, really, really good stuff on here. Actually, see, remember, let's see what we got here. You Ought to Know, of course. That's the one we just talked about. All I really want to know, you ought to know. Head over feet. And good stuff on here. Good stuff. Show you the tracks again. Once I get this back in so I can close it. Okay, show you the track so you can home in on combined sales of over 33 million copies worldwide. Jagged Pill is one of the best-selling albums of all times. It has been included on several all-time lists such as Apple Music, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Rolling Stone. Good stuff. This one charted in 24 countries and peaked at number 1 in 14 of them. This is really a good album. I mean, there's some cussing on there. If you don't like the cussing, well, you might want to stay away from it. You know, and I was surprised that the reviewers reviewed it so high because of what the language or the lyrical tone on it, but didn't bother me at all. This is really good. Alanis, this 1995 album, Jagged Little Pill, is getting a VG for me for the week. This was a nice one. This was a very nice one. Well, what can we get next? Is something going to spoil this week? Well, and now we're into the part of the album, the collection where their albums were already in the collection and they're waiting for their turn to get played. And the first one that we pulled out on this one here is number 140 in the collection. This is the 1981 album by the Police, Ghost in the Machine. I have 3 LPs and a 4 CD box set by the Police in the collection. And this was the fourth studio album by the English rock band. We got an inner in here. I don't know if that's upside down or right side. I think this is right side up. I don't know what all of that is supposed to depict, and I didn't do any research on it either. So, shame on me. This topped the UK albums chart and peaked at number 2 on the US Billboard 200 chart. And it's charted at 12 different charts, peaking at number 1 on 5 of them. With what's written across the top, you would have thought this was a Japanese or something, but it's not. That's just 333, or and then the side number 1 is what it meant. Don't remember what the threes are for. Oh, it's 322. Is it? Or 332? I have 333. This is listed at number 322 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all times. And as of 2020, it was still sitting at 332. You know, I am really glad to have added this to my collection also. Let me see if we get some of these songs up here, give you a little remembrance, and just instead of testing your memory like I test mine. Okay. Spirits in the Material World. There goes Bill's phone. Who won the award this week for when it would go off? Okay. Spirits in every little thing she does is magic. Demolition Man. You know, lots of good stuff on this album. Really, really good. And I'm glad to have have it in the collection. I'm glad to have got a chance to hear it again this week. So, The Police, Ghost in the Machine from 1981 gets VG. The week continues to roll on really nicely. And the last one of the week. No, don't forget, go down there and hit that like button. If you're watching at this point and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel and help it grow. And at the end, I'll be telling you the 2 that I picked are my favorites. This is going to be a really tough week. This is going to be a hard week to pick. All right, that last one of the week is another 1981 album. I believe it's 81. 1981 album by Foreigner, 4. And it's sometimes called Foreigner 4. And it was their 4th studio album. And also had lent to the fact that the band itself had reduced from 6 to 4 members. Look at lots of 4s going there. Okay. You know, Jukebox Hero, Urgent, and probably my favorite song of all time by Foreigner, Waiting for a Girl Like You. Yeah, that's mellow, but I really always have liked that song. Why? I don't know. I guess I was always in search of that person that could put up with me. That was the problem. Was a commercial success, charting in 10 countries and holding the number 1 position on the Billboard 200 chart for a total of 10 weeks. It eventually sold over 6 million copies in the U.S. alone. What a way to keep their careers going. And, you know, it just came out in July of 81, and in August of 81, MTV came in about. It started. And I'm so sure that probably helped with those 3 songs anyway, but the popularity and the replay of them and getting people out to buy the albums and so forth. I don't think that MTV in 1981, I was between Europe and George Air Force Base, and I don't think that I even was watching MTV. In Europe, we didn't have no TV, so I wasn't watching it there. So anyway, that wasn't the reason I bought it. I bought it because I like this song, especially that song, "I'm Waiting for a Girl Like You." So there we are. But even though it was really, really good and I really like that song, I am going to give the 1981 LP Foreigner 4 a G plus. What a week. Pretty good. Have you got any of these albums? Do any of the by any of these artists? Let me know which ones you have, if you like them or not. If not, what did you listen to this week? If you listened to anything. So let's get back here to picking. All right. We are going to go. We can't go with Actual Miles because that's like a compilation CD, which I have eliminated from picking because of that fact, because they were always winning and so forth. The compilations were. So let's see. Savvy Brown was really in the running with Getting to the Point. It's a G plus. Iron Maiden was a G plus. The Actual Miles was a VG, but we can't pick it. Jagged Little Pill. You know what? I'm going to pick Jagged Little Pill. Yeah, I gave it a VG. I really like this album by Alanis Morissette. Made me think of a lot of things. And then I think the second one I'm going to pick is Ghost in the Machine by the Police from 1981. I mean, I had to pick because I say I always pick. Foreigner could have been in there. Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden might have been in there. It was a G plus. Getting to the Point is a G plus by Savvy Brown, but it's hard to pick this week. So there were the two that my favorites of the week: Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette from '95 and Ghost in the Machine by the Police in 1981. Unless out of all the people that I saw in concert, I did see Henley with the Eagles before he passed away, and I did see Sting after the Police, and I did see Foreigner once at a fairground concert. So anyway, that was a good week. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice finish of your week. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.